Bulletproof Radio, a state of high performance.
Really impressed with how this works, but I don't really understand how shockwave therapy is doing this. Can you go into a little bit more detail for people listening?
Yeah.
Do we know why it does what it does?
Yeah. So the two main things, and just to, kind of clarify this, that one of the main reasons, the main physical reason why guys start to decline with their performance in the bedroom are the following. The microplaque builds up in the blood vessels, like you just said. They get clogged up, right? Like a drain. And then the blood vessels will actually start to collapse and weaken, right? So these two things happen as we age. It happens to every single guy. And at some point, it's going to happen to all of us. So what acoustic wave therapy does is it clears the microplaque out of the blood vessels. So it addresses that issue. Number two, it creates what's called micro trauma, which, a lot of people in your audience are familiar with. It's like going to the gym, right? It creates micro trauma for the purposes of fostering angiogenesis, which is the growth of new blood vessels. So that's the science behind it, okay? It will restore the blood flow. So, the pharmaceutical things, they're Band-Aids, right? They don't address the root issue, which is exactly what acoustic wave therapy does.
Did you just say root issue?
I did.
How long has this kind of therapy been around?
Well, there are lots of different uses for acoustic wave therapy, but specifically to treat erectile dysfunction or increase sexual performance. This started about 20 years ago in Europe, which I was fascinated about the subject when I first heard about it about 5 years ago. And acoustic wave therapy is used to treat soft tissue, let's say tears or issues all over the body. But a group of doctors in Europe about 20 years ago started experimenting with acoustic wave therapy on their patients. And what they noticed was, what we had just talked about, is their sexual function started to restore over the course of days, weeks, and months. They were fascinated by it, and even more so by the fact that the side effects were very, very minimal, if any at all. So it finally started to make its way over here about 5 years ago, and there's clinics all over the country that do this now.
And the idea of being able to do it at home is really cool. When you guys first reached out a couple of years ago and you were in your early beta, I was like, oh, this is kind of a neat idea. It seems like it would be really hard to get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
But what you've got on the device is it has a timer, and it tells you exactly how much to use it, and then it won't work for 3 days because you don't want to do it too frequently. And so I was impressed you got through all the regulatory hurdles to make a device like this, but it's pretty cool. Walk people through, how do you actually use it? Do you have to be correct?
Well, we have
what's going on?
videos for that. Yeah, we got videos for that stuff, but so I'll explain how to use it. It is a topical device. It's non-invasive. So just to put that out there, it's not anything that goes in any weird orifices in your body, right? This is we've made it very, let's say, user-friendly, almost dummy-proof. Because some guys are intimidated, right? They don't understand, how it works. Even, once they see the video, they're like, oh, can you explain this to me? So we've gone through great lengths to make it easy to use, to make it safe to use, and to make it efficacious, effective. And it took us about 3 years and 27 prototypes and clinical testing here in my clinic in Southern California. So
how long does it take? How many minutes?
15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. It's a topical device that you literally run down 5 quadrants on the shaft over the course of about 15 to 20 minutes, applying these sound waves that penetrate the tissue.
So it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to be erect. You put some numbing cream on, and it doesn't hurt that much. Some guys don't need the numbing cream, but it's a relatively intense. It's relatively loud. But then you basically just kind of go up the thing, and it puts that acoustic wave signal, and it creates some micro traumas, and then it grows back stronger. And there's no downtime at all, although it is going to be numb for a few hours afterwards from lidocaine. and then you're good to go. I would suggest washing with soap to get that lidocaine off of there, but it doesn't ever hurt, and it doesn't like. There's no bruising. There's no anything like oh, okay, it was a non-issue. So you spend 15, 20 minutes. How many times do people have to use the device to see results typically?
So we recommend 6 to 12 treatments, and you can space them out 2 to 3 times a week. Well, you actually have to. That's why we put the lockout period on the device, so guys can't abuse it. And a lot of guys are there. If a little is good, more is better. So we specifically put a timeout feature in there. So we kind of keep everybody safe. Let's put it that way.